Hello, today I'm going to share with you my techniques for using something called nth-child and rounded corner CSS. You don't do the rounded corner in a graphics program like Fireworks or Photoshop. So this is what the file looks like. We're going to go step by step on how this is built. This is a continuation from the HTML5 page that I built last week. So this page right now, you can see the rounded corners in some of the effects with the child until you go to either publish it to the server or go to live view. If I go to live view, I can see my formatting. So this information here was done with something called nth-child. The information for the rounded corner was basically done with CSS using the round corner effects. So we're going to build this site step by step, not using code. We're not going to go into code mode and confuse you. We're going to do everything strictly from Dreamweaver. Dreamweaver writes the code for you, but you don't have to know the code to build a perfect site. See you in a second. So I'm going to share my production techniques and show you how to build this site the correct way using little to no code. A couple pieces of code we'll have to use because Dreamweaver doesn't do certain things by default in the interface. So again, this page is not being viewed without the web, without live view. So if you click live view, this is what the page is going to look like. Rounded corners on my header, rounded corners on my nav buttons with separate colors. And I do that with the nth-child. So the nth-child enables you to talk to each li tag starting with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. As an example, about is 1, products is 2, price is 3, shipping is 4, contact is 5, etc., etc., etc. So we do have to use some code. So as an example, I'm going to show you how simple it is to apply code to main site content. So I'm going to come out of live for a second, and I want to create a rule for main site content. This happens to be an h1 tag. So we're going to select the tag, and make a rule. Make a rule for the selected tag. Now, in this particular case, it's the h1 tag inside of a section. h1 inside of section. Because notice that we have an h1 tag for the entire site. So that becomes the parent tag of this tag. So we're simply going to say, we're going to give this a border. Let's give this a border, a solid 2-pixel border. Okay, there's my solid 2-pixel border. Now, what I want to have happen here, I want to give this some kind of padding. So again, I can double click into the h1 tag, go to box, and let's give this, say, 4 points of padding. Okay, now I also want this to have a certain width to it. So here's a simple way to get the width of the box to equal the width of the content. I'm going to go to my guides. If your rulers are not up, Command Option R for Macintosh, Command Alt R, I'm sorry, Command Option R for Macintosh, Control Alt R for Windows. So I'm going to put a guide here and here. So if I hold that Command key for Macintosh, Control key for Windows, I can see the distance between point A and point B. So if you go back into that tag, the rule for that tag, we're going to make that same distance, which was 197 pixels wide. So I could type in 197 and hit OK. Okay, so this box now is roughly the size of the content. Now I explained to you that I do have to put some code in here by hand for the rounded corners. Once the code is in there, you can affect the rounded corners from here. So as an example, if you select the tag for the rounded corner for the h1 tag, notice here, because the code is already inside of it, if I click right here, there's the pop-up menu for my rounded corners. Okay, so you have to do the code first, because Dreamweaver doesn't do that, but once the code is in there, you can make changes from the palette from here. So here's how this is done. Okay, so I'm going to go to the code, the the CSS code for the h1. h1 inside of section. Now, this stuff here, we don't need it more. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to do this. Simple. Okay, so I'm going to delete that. hit the return key, type in border, B-O-R-D-E-R, hit the hyphen symbol, start typing radius, and I'm going to set the radius to say 5px, semicolon. Now, very important step, I need to do this for Mozilla browsers and Chrome browser, so I have to do the WebKit browser and the Moz browser. Here's a simple technique. I simply copy this, Command-C, Macintosh, Control-C, Windows, hit the return key, hit the hyphen key, type in M-O-Z, and paste. Hit the return key, hit the hyphen key, type in WebKit, just start typing it out, and paste. Problem solved. That's now the rounded corner for the H1 tag when H1 tag is inside of section. Very simple, very straightforward. Okay. Now, notice that you can't see that because I have to render either in a browser or I have to go to live view. So if I click live view, you can see what's happening here. Now, right now, nothing is happening here. Why? Because I haven't defined a background color or a border. There is no border, there is no background color, so I can't see the round corners. So I can simply double-click, select the tag, double-click the tag. Now, another important step here. Let's say you forgot that that was the H1 section tag. Couple of choices here. I could go to current view and make changes from here. That's one way. Another way I can do this is I can go to inspect. If go to inspect and select that tag, then I can change the rules for that tag. Okay, so there's the tag for this rule. I went to live view, inspect, selects that tag for that rule for that tag. So we're going to give this a background color of, say, this orangish color. Okay. So there's my rounded corners. Now we need to make some changes to this. Double click H1. Let's change this to white for the text color. Let's change the box dimensions to be, let's make this 8 pixels. And there you have it. Simple. So I'm going to show you how to do this totally from scratch in just a second, but I just want to share some basic understanding, basic fundamentals on how we can do this very simply with using little to no code. Back in a second. Okay. So before we go further, I'm going to show you a really cool technique to benefit from search engine optimization by using what's called an H group tag, new to HTML5. So here's my H1 tag. Here's my H2 tag. This is the header for my site. This is the subhead. So I want to put this inside of an H2 tag. Here's a simple way to do this. Select what you want to affect. Hit Command T for Quick Tag Editor. Command T for Macintosh. Control T for Windows. Just type H group. Hit the return key. There you go. This has now been tagged for search engine purposes, which is going to help your search engine results if you group certain tags together, a header and a subheader together as one. H tags. Okay, so now let's build our navigation system. Okay, so let's get started with our navigation system here. Now, this is my own technique for building navigation. I'm just going to put in the pound symbol to hyperlink it, to hyperlink the text. I'm going to type it about, double click about, come down here to the property palette, put in the pound symbol. Then I'm going to take the completed word, double click, copy. This way I don't have to keep putting in the pound symbol. I just want to set this up as a hyperlink. It's not going to any page right now. I'm just setting it up as a hyperlink. So I hit return key, paste, return key, paste, return key, paste, return key, paste. So this is going to be double click products. So it retains its hyperlink. Double click price. Double click shipping. Double click contact. Now, this has to be in an unordered list. So in the property palette, I come down here and make an unordered list. make a change, save a change. It'd have to get into make a change, save a change. So similar to previous videos I've done, select the tag, make a rule, select the tag, make a rule, select the tag, make a rule. We're going to select the unordered list tag and come over here to the property palette for the CSS style and make a rule. So I don't want it to say wrapper, I just want it to say nav unordered list. So I go to list and I pick none and I hit OK. Now, next thing I want to do is basically have this go horizontal navigation. So I need to do this to the LI, especially if you want your site to work in Internet Explorer. Now, why you'd want your site to work in Internet Explorer is a whole different can of worms, because that browser should be tossed. It's the worst browser in the world. Anyway, so I'm going to select the LI tag list item. Okay, select the tag, make a rule. Select the tag, make a rule. So we're going to select the tag to float this tag to the left. We're also going to put in some padding in here of, say, 5 pixels of padding. We also want to put space between the links horizontally from left to right. So we're going to put in to the right 1.1 em space. And em is equal to the height of the letter M. It's going to be more flexible to do the width in em spaces. So if I change the size of my type, the space will get bigger or shorter. So if I hit the apply option, there's my hyperlinks across the page. Okay, make a change, save a change. Now, I don't want the orange background. I'm going to change the background to black. That was the nav tag. So I'm going to double click nav, come up here to box, and I'm going to basically make this nav tab, background, make the background black. Now, the other thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to float this box to the left. Now, by floating it to the left, I'm going to get something like this happening. Okay, that's not what I want to have happen right now, because I need to make the box width the same width of the site nav, of wrapper. I'm going to make this 900 pixels wide. So there's my black box. Now, I want to be able to see my type, so that's the A tag. So I select the tag, make a rule, select the tag, make a rule. We're going to make a rule for the A tag. A tag inside the list item, inside the unordered list, inside the nav HTML5 nav tag. This is not a div tag, it's an HTML5 nav tag. We're going to make our type white. We're going to capitalize each hyperlink. We don't want to have an underline, and we hit OK. So it's starting to look pretty cool. Okay, so there's my tags. Now, there's something screwy going on with this tag, so I just want to make sure that, what is that not capitalizing? Somehow it's not rendering this tag correctly. So, okay, make a change, save a change. Okay, now the super cool part. We have our default values for the A tag, default values for the nav tag. We want to take these two guys and put them up in the nav section, because technically it should read nav unordered list li, unordered list li, A tag. So now we're going to do the child and the child. So here's a simple way to do this. Okay, doesn't matter what I've selected, because it's not going to affect anything in particular. Now, if you want to, you can select this tag here, the li tag, and just hit the plus symbol. Okay, if that's simpler, or you can just copy and paste from what I had before. So it's nav tag unordered list li colon nth hyphen child open and close parenthesis 1. Now what that's going to do for me, that's going to talk to the first hyperlink, because that was nth child 1. Products is going to be 2. Price is going to be 3. The objective here, I want the box colors to be different colors. So we're going to get started with a shade of blue, this bluish color here. Okay, so if I hit the apply option, not much is going to happen because, like I said before, this has to be done and rendered. It has to be rendered to a browser, or I'm going to take this and go to live view. Now I can see there's my box. Okay, so I want to put a little more padding between the box, the blue box there. So I'm going to go to the A tag, double click the A tag, go to box, padding to the left. Let's make that 10 pixels. Tab key, padding to the right, 10 pixels. That puts more space between the boxes. Okay, so let's repeat the same process. Now, two choices you have for doing this for the subsequent nth-child. I could select this tag, hold down the Control key, Mac or Windows right click, and duplicate this, and make this 2. And I could duplicate that, drag this to here, duplicate that, Control key, duplicate, and call that 3. That's one alternative. Okay, I did that for people that are very afraid of code. So if you want to do it a quicker way, what you can do is simply go to your code inside your CSS, find where the nth-child lives, and then just copy and paste. So we need a total of 5 of these. So I can just take this code, copy, hit the return key, paste, change 3 to 4, change 4 to 5. That's simpler. For those of you that are code phobias, have code phobias, you can do it over here to the right, or you can just go to your code. I think it's just as simple to go to your code. It's important to know both, by the way, but I just don't want to scare people off. I just want to keep this so simple on how to do this. Okay, so now let's change these colors to different colors. So I can select 2, and let's make 2 a greenish color. Now keep in mind I'm in live view, so I can see this happen on the fly. If you're not in live view, you're going to see this. You see nothing. So you either have to publish it or go to live view to see the nth-child effect. Okay, then I'm going to select 3. Now let's make 3 the opposite of this color. Well, how do I do that? I go to my color wheel. If this is where the color lives, then this is the color's opposite. So I'm going to make it this color, a little darker color than that. So there's my color. Then I'm going to go to 4. And 4, I'm going to make a totally different color. I'm going to make this orange color. And 5, let's make this purplish color up here. Actually, I already got that color. Let's make something more this green color. Okay, and there you have it. All right, 5 separate web navigation buttons with different colors using nth-child. Now, if you didn't know the nth-child technique, you would have to make classes. I don't want to make a bunch of classes if I don't have to. I want the software to work for me. I don't want the software working me. This is a simple technique to do this, okay? So now we want to give these boxes rounded corners. We're going to do that next. Rounded corners. Now we could make each box have a separate rounded corner by affecting the border radius inside of each nth-child. That visually would not really look too great. I don't want to have each box have physically separate rounded corners, but I could do that. So I want to generically set the rounded corner for the li tag, just the li tag itself. So let's go to the code to get this started here. Again, the rounded corners you can do by default inside of the interface in Dreamweaver, but you can do this from scratch in here. So let's see how we can do this. So we're going to go to li. Okay, so there's li inside of unordered list inside of nav. So put your cursor at the end, the last thing that we did, and just hit the return key. So we're going to type in border, B-O-R-D-E-R, hyphen, and start typing the word radius. As soon as you start typing radius, it pops up. Just hit the return key. Radius is going to be, let's make radius be 5px semicolon. Now, we want to take this information and copy it because the borders have to be compatible with Chrome and Firefox. So that's both WebKit plus Mozilla browsers. So here's how to do it. Simple, simple, simple. Hit the return key. Hit the hyphen key. Type in MOZ. Return key. Paste. Hit the return key. Hit the hyphen key. Type in web. WebKit pops up. Paste. Simple as pie. Simple as pie. Simple, simple, simple. Okay, so now my boxes have rounded corners. Now let's say I want to see this without that black background with my nav. Or I can just go to my nav and change the background color to none. And there's my navigation. Okay, I kind of like it with the black background, so I'm going to undo that. Command Z. Make sure you're out of view before you hit Command Z. Okay, make a change, save a change. Now you can adjust this with padding, move it up, move it down, etc., etc. So let's put a rounded box around my H group tag, which is both of these guys. Okay, so let's put a rounded box around here. So how can I do this? Well, I can create a rule for the H group tag. Select the tag, make a rule. Select the tag, make a rule. So I'm going to select the H group tag inside of the header tag. Again, the H group tag combines header tags together for search engine optimization. Good to have to get into. So let's just make this H group tag background color. We're going to make our background color. Let's make this, I don't know, pick a color, pick a color, pick a color. Let's make it this greenish color. Okay, by default, I have that happening. Now, notice nothing's happening because the H group tag is a block level element. So I can come down here to my existing H tags and I can just put H group, HGROUP, comma. And there's my H group tag. It has to be a block element in order to work properly. Now the other thing we're going to do here is make the tags here, H group tag. Just going to change the color slightly. So I'm going to change the contents to white. Okay, I'm going to change the padding. Let's make the padding 10 pixels of padding all the way around. Okay, then let's make this box here float to the left. So if it floats to the left, it's going to contain the box itself. So the H group tag is now going to float to the left. So therefore it'll be a self-contained box. The header tag, self-contained. I could have changed the width on it, but I simply floated it to the left so it builds to its content. So as an example, if you type in more text, it's going to continue to build to its content. Very cool technique. Okay, make a change, save a change. So this is the tag with not live view. This is with live view, etc., etc. So now we want to do an H group tag that has rounded corners. Now, if you're smart, you can just copy and paste the code we did before. That would certainly solve the problem. But an alternative to that is let's go to our H group tag and do this from scratch again. So I can hit the return key, type in BORDER hyphen, start typing radius. Let's make this radius be 15px semicolon. Then I'm going to again copy, Command C Macintosh, Control C Windows, hyphen MOZ, turn key, paste, return. Then hyphen WebKit, return, paste, problem solved. So now if I go back to, now a little shortcut here too, Control key tilde, Control tilde symbol, the one next to one key, to the left of the one key, is the tilde symbol. So if you Control tilde, will toggle between screen view, design view, and code view. Design view, code view, Control tilde. Okay, this is a live view, so I can basically take this off. Okay, now here's a really super trick here. Once I have my rounded corners in place, in this particular case, the H tag, I can then adjust these settings down here. So I'm going to click right here in the bottom right hand corner, and I want my radius corners to be different. So I'm going to deselect, same for all. I want the top left to be 30 pixels, tab, 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 and the bottom right to be 30 pixels. I'm going to go 30, 14, 30, 14. Okay. Now for if that's for Moz. For WebKit, I'm going to do the same thing. 30, 14. Sorry, my mistake on this. Deselect, same for all. So 30, 14, 30, 14. Okay. So therefore, I get rounded corners that are going to be different. So in fact, I can go back here and I can make this. Let's make this top right one. Let's make that one 70 pixels. Okay, so you can get some very cool, interesting designs to your tags simply by affecting them differently. So the top left, let's make the top left basically 0. Okay, so I'm sorry, the bottom left, my mistake on that. So I can have different settings just by affecting these here, but you have to do them for both browsers, the Mozilla browser plus the WebKit browser. Again, that's enough for today. We're going to continue this later on tonight to build the rest of the site, but I just want to kind of get your appetite wet for how simple it is to do Dreamweaver without little to no code, getting to think the way the software thinks through my proven simple techniques. Use it. Nth-child is a good technique. Use it. Rounded corners. Have a good day. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. And if you haven't, follow me on Twitter at ThinkAdobe. I also have a new Twitter account too that I set up called at Adobe Videos. So you can follow either or. Thank you. Talk to you soon. Tell your friends. This is how to find out how to do Dreamweaver the right way without using code.